Okay guys, here's some good poor man's blacksmithing supplies. This is an anvil that I made. This is my first one. Nothing but a piece of railroad tie and a bucket of concrete. It works pretty good. Not that loud. Everybody needs one good fire poker stick. I made this out of rebar. You can find rebar pretty much anywhere. Old fireplace shovel I found in the trash. This is what I use to move my coals around. Now if you want a good forge, here's one that I made. This is one of my favorites. It's about a knife maker's size. I basically have a little fan that hooks up into that reducer right there. And this is cement and wood ash I use to make my lining. And I used to have a bunch of holes in it. That wouldn't give me enough air, so I just basically cut out a slit in the middle. And this forge gets welding hot. I can weld with this forge. So I think altogether I paid $8 or $9 for the tub at Lowe's. A bag of cement costs nothing, and then ashes out of my fireplace. And then of course the piece of pipe. Black iron, it's cheap. And that's a good poor man's forge. If you don't have that much money, I'm about to show you how to make one in the ground. So stay tuned. Alright everybody, here's that old piece of pipe I was talking about. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to make me a spot here. And we're going to make a quick ground forge. Dirt doesn't burn. You know, all you really want to do is make some space. Put your charcoal. And then we're going to bury the pipe. When we bury the pipe, the heat won't travel back up it to our air source. Today what I'm going to use is an air mattress pump. Something you may already have in your house. Which is the point of all this. It doesn't really matter how big your hole is. It's how much charcoal do you want to go through. If all you're trying to make is a knife blade, you don't need that much space. So what we'll do is we'll bury this pipe back and let the earth keep it nice and cool, so we don't screw up our air pump here. All you need is somewhere to dump the charcoal with the air current. That's the only point of this hole. To hold the coals. Once the coals are in there, the air goes to them and they get hot. So for all those videos telling you gotta build this and you gotta build that, I just built a forge. Hey guys, while I'm waiting for my wood to turn into usable coal, happened to be by my neighbor's house the other day, and the leaf springs broke on his little trailer, and he had his laying on the ground, and I said, hey, what you gonna do with that? And he said, I'm gonna throw it away. What do you think I'm gonna do with it? I said, well, can I have it? He said, what would you want that for? I just want it. This is fantastic knife making material. You can get a hold of leaf springs, and I got leaf springs all over the place. These are just going to go into my stash. It doesn't matter if they're rusty. As long as they're not rusted through, all this crap will beat off once the first time you get it hot. And I'm probably going to make some kind of little chopper out of one of these today. I have a friend coming over. He wants to do a railroad spike knife. Keep your eyes open. Stuff like this doesn't get noticed. As far as you hoarding stuff, I hoard stuff like this because this is invaluable. You know, you can make almost anything out of this. Once you heat treat it, it's hard as rock. Great knife making material. One man's trash is another man's treasure. Learn how to scavenge. Learn how to find things. Learn how to see things other people are throwing away. Because that's where you get your materials for this hobbyist stuff. You know, What I'm using today to make charcoal is simply pallets. I got a bunch of pieces of pallet right now burning up. They're going to fall out to the bottom as coals, and I'll put those in my forge. I love pallets. Pallets are always laying around. Nobody gives a damn if you take one. Usually if you ask, they'll give it to you. It makes great charcoal. You know, what I usually do is I'll stack about 4, 5, 6, or 7 of them up high. I'll light them on fire. About the time the pile collapses in on itself is when you want to take your garden hose and put it out. Soak it, soak it, soak it so there's no more steam coming out. Spread it out. Let the sun dry that up, and then you have great freaking charcoal. Today we're doing the quick way. I'll probably be pulling stuff straight out of the fire and putting it in the forge. But pallets. Pallets are great if you don't have a lot of money to put in this hobby. I started it with no money. Really all you need is a hammer and something hard to beat on. So think about pallets. When you see one laying on the ground, or you know somebody's throwing one away, hey, that's a couple hours worth of working charcoal time. If you can burn it into coal and then put it out. Or burn it into coal and then take the coal directly towards your forge. Pallets are invaluable for free charcoal. Alright, so we got our pipe down in the ground for our ground forge. Get some good old fix-all duct tape. All we need to do is make some sort of seal here. Doesn't have to be fancy. All this needs to do is get air from point A to point B. I've got a lot of attachments on it. I don't really use air mattresses anymore. But we got a bit of a seal. We'll cover that up. Hopefully that'll be enough to hold it tight. And then let's see, I got some stuff falling out of the fire over here. So, let's put it into our ground forge and see what happens. Remember, don't take everything out of your fire because you're going to need something to keep it going. Make more coals as you go along, you will use them up. You will need a lot more. So here we have our little fire pit. And let's see what we can do as far as getting air to it. And we can actually achieve forging temperatures. So, take a piece of this from yesterday. So a leaf spring, I'll put it in there. Let's give it a few pumps. As you can see, even a little hole in the ground, I'm getting a lot of heat. People still do this all over the world. Lots of YouTube videos. Look up African blacksmith. These guys are experts at it. They do it with garbage bags. Now, for all you haters, yes, an electric fan would be a lot faster. I'm using tongs. You don't need tongs. You can put a simple pair of pliers in here. Probably get it's a little harder to work with. Blacksmiths made these for a reason. I'm giving it so much air now. I'm trying to get a nice even heat here. Starting to get the idea? Oh yeah, sucker's getting pretty hot. Now, other than the silly air pump I'm using, spending money. I've seen guys use hair dryers, fireplace bellows. Pretty much the first one I had, I used the air from my air compressor, bicycle pump. All I'm doing is blowing air into a pile of coals. It's actually starting to get some color. Now, people have been doing this for a couple thousand years now. There's nothing new and exciting about what I'm doing. I'm doing it without technology, other than this silly air mattress pump. But you can find one at a garage sale for nearly nothing. If you're not trying to spend money and you want to learn these skills, you don't have to spend any money. You don't need antique blowers. I have one forge. I use the squirrel cage fan. I have an air conditioner to run. All you need is air. It doesn't matter where you get it, as long as it's not blowing too hard. So we still got our metal down in the fire. It's getting pretty hot. Where the camera can even see it. Oh yeah, that's starting to turn red. Got some impurities burning out of the inside where there was a bush ant one time. I'm going to keep these coals going. I'm really not working to start on this until my buddy gets here. So right now I'm just kind of goofing off. See what else I can get put in there. When you're doing it this way, you got to keep the fire going. I'm not adding charcoal, I'm taking stuff straight out of a fire. I'm throwing it in there only to show you that even if you can't figure out how to make charcoal, you can still do this at home with whatever you can find. This is not complicated rocket science. Like I said, people have been doing this for thousands of years. We'll see if we can get it really hot one good time. I know you guys can see that color. Just about all the impurities from the old bushing are burned out. It's pretty hot. I could start forging on this if I wanted to, hammering, whatever you want to call it. Like I said, I'm trying to make some cheap knives today, just something to show. You gotta practice. You can't watch this one time and go, oh, I know how to do it. I probably made 100 knives out of junk steel before I ever took and made one out of front board steel. That's hot. That's ready for hammer. Alright guys. Now you know how to get it hot.